And would you say that you get an opportunity to be yourself at work?
Yeah, I think I do now.
Yeah.
I think I did not before. It was really interesting. My ADHD assessment, I scored in the very high range for masking.
Right.
I think I think I do mask a lot in terms of like I really try not to let other people show, like not to show the things that maybe what's happening in my head outside of myself. Yeah, I think I do. I think I do really want to be myself all the time, and I do really want to show. I think that when you are yourself, you give other people permission to be themselves.
Yeah.
I think that's a really important thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I think at the moment I certainly work in an organisation where I feel very safe to be myself. But I know that that's not the case. I know that's actually a privilege, because for a lot of people, they don't feel that way. And I think if there are people listening to this who have influence in their workplace, I would say the big thing is to, to find ways to help your organisation to allow people to be themselves at work and be their authentic self in the best way they can, not to a point where there's an argument for, you don't want to be your authentic self to a point where it might hurt someone else.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want to still be collegial and still think about how you are for other people.
Yeah.
But, for most of us, just being authentic, we wouldn't be hurting anyone by doing that. You know what I mean? And it's a really important thing to do. I think I've struggled to ever be anything apart from myself, and I think that even when I was younger, actually said to my mum the other day that it's probably one of the things that she taught me from an early age was I didn't have to, I was okay to be myself and be individual. And I think I've taught my daughter that too. Like, she's very individual and unique, and I think it's something that I think is really important. Yeah.
I do too, because I think often organisations talk about that a lot.
Yeah, they do.
But actually having it modelled is a different matter.
Yeah.
And often organisations will talk a lot about having a diverse workforce and an inclusive workforce, but it actually doesn't get modelled that much.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And allowing people to have differences, I guess, and be different and show your differences. And it's not, sometimes it's about cultural things, but sometimes I think it's in the micro moments, if I'm entirely honest, like sometimes it is in the big things, like, showing that you celebrate a range of religious holidays, as an example. That meet your diverse workforce and meet them where they are. But sometimes I think it's just in the micro moments, I had a micro moment the other day where I was unwell with my condition had come on while I was at work, and I'd got in the lift with our chief executive and I apologised to him. Yeah. For looking unwell, being a bit off. And he was like, "Why are you apologising?" And those are the micro moments.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yes. Where he was saying, I didn't have to apologise for the fact that I have a chronic illness and that this happens to me sometimes. Yeah. But that matters more, I think. I
think so. And I don't think people in leadership positions and managers realise that sometimes it's not the big plays.
No.
It's those personal moments when you actually say something like that.
Yeah.
That gives the person the ability to say, yes, I can be myself. I don't have to hide stuff like that. But as I said, it's something that probably can't really be taught.
I don't think it can.
Often it relies on a leader having the instinctive capability to be able to say that and to know when to say that. It's not as much as you would like to give people training about to do that. Often it's actually being able to pick up when to say it. Yeah.
There's a level of intuition, isn't there? And there's a level of judgment around how to deal with those things. And I think there are some tactics that I use at work that that I used to be embarrassed of. So as an example, I can, like, in my line of work, accuracy, very important when you're like creating documents that are going to be circulated to the whole organization, things like that. And I used to be embarrassed of using the read aloud function because I can't proofread documents.
Yes.
That's not a skill I have. And I don't think I could ever have that skill because it's literally not how my brain works. And then probably like 5 years ago, I discovered read aloud.
Yeah.
And I was like, my life has changed. My perspective on my whole work has changed from being someone who felt embarrassed when there were mistakes in my document to just like flicking the read aloud feature on and listening to my document.
Yeah.
And then I can check it that way. But I can't check it through reading it. I can check it through listening to it. So it's just little things like that I don't feel embarrassed of anymore. Like I feel like I can say that and say I can do it. Or, you know, my people leader at work is amazing. We have a really great relationship, and there are some tasks that she might want me to do, but I'll say I can't do that. Like, for example, check 300 lines of data in a spreadsheet. That could not be me.
Right, that's asking for trouble.
I'm just not going to do a good job at that.